Welcome to Unleash the Power of Your Mind, an online masterclass. I'm your host as well as your trainer for the evening, Glenn Lim. Today is a little bit precarious in the sense that my co-trainer and my partner, Tony, is not here tonight. Something has cropped up on his side. He's actually trying to tune in. Even right now, all the way from Chiang Mai, Thailand. He runs a rehab retreat center over there that deals with mental health and trauma-related issues. So tonight, I am privileged actually to kind of host this evening. In case you don't know which is which or who is who, I'm the guy on the right, okay? It just amazes me how people can still kind of mistake me for Tony, yeah? My name is Glenn Lim. I call myself a transpersonal psychologist or psychotherapist. Also, I marry my twin passion in curriculum development. So in a sense, I'm also an educator. I kind of fuse the two together in psychotherapy work and education. And as you can tell, I've got quite a lot of credentials over here, and I always say this, they mean nothing when it comes to working with humans. We shall go into the outline for tonight. Once again, the topic for tonight, tonight's masterclass is unleashing the power of your mind. And we only have 1 hour or less. Okay, so let's start off with this. I'm going to cover a little bit of how your brain sabotages you, especially if you know you want to set certain goals and achieve them. Why is it that your brain is not on your side? Why is it that we always find ourselves like fighting against our mind, right? Secondly, we'll talk a little bit about the vast potential of your subconscious mind. And then I'm going to give you a quick tool or technique tonight. I call it the twin V or the 2V technique to override your negative thoughts as well as develop an empowering mindset. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to start off by giving you a couple of optical illusions here, okay? What do you see first? So guess what? Same word, same image, and you have two perspectives. Is that true? These are some very typical optical illusions you can find on Google, etc. I'm going to show you another one here. Okay, let's take a look here. And please stare intently at this train, this MRT train. And then I'm going to ask you this question. Is the train going into the tunnel or coming out of the tunnel? Again, same idea, same concept of a common image, but we're seeing two different things. Some people call these perspectives. The scientific term for this is called motion binding effect. Let's go to the third optical illusion. Now, guys, I want you to scan this image, have a quick scan of this image, left, right, yeah, center, and ask yourself, as you stare intently at this image, are there motions of this image, like circling around? Hypnotically. If it's very fast, you might have come from a very stressful and anxious situation, like from work or something like that. Yeah, and you're pretty stressed out. Okay, now, those of you who can see these motions at work and you want to kind of stop these movements, all you need to do is to just focus and fix your gaze on one of the small little dots in the middle. There are circles, right? You can see in the middle of those circles, black dots. Fix your eyes and gaze onto it, focus hard on it, and you will immediately see the peripheral motions just freeze. Is that right? Guys, welcome to this optical illusion. It's a classic peanut butter stuff illusion. All right, last one, because tonight is more than just showing you a bunch of optical illusions. Now, this is a very short few seconds video, and I want you to see this blindfolded guy who's reaching out his hand into this glass box. And this guy obviously is blindfolded. He can't see what this object is. Let me tell you what the object is. It's a furry toy. It's harmless and it's just a furry toy. But because his mates, his friends, trick him and cause some excitement in him to say that, hey, you know, anticipate that there is going to be a creature that you're going to touch, right? So there's a sense of anxiety and fear. And I want you to see his reaction very quickly. Okay, let's take a look.
Why is it moving? Why is it moving, bro? Oh my God.
So guys, right, even though it's a it's a harmless furry toy, but because our minds play tricks such that, you know, we can create and imagine things that are not even real, right? And this is the great sabotaging effect of our mind. What it serves us and protects us, sometimes fight or flight, you know, especially when it senses threat or danger, but it becomes unresourceful and unconstructive the moment we let it run amok. It's a good servant, but a bad master. And behind this engine, you might be saying, oh, fear, anxiety, those are emotions. But it stems from somewhere, guys. It stems from our mind, or what I would call the garden of our mind. So what is the garden of our mind? Our garden of our mind is a simple metaphor analogy of what actually happens when we begin to allow our brain, our mind to run amok, okay? Now, some of us will have negative thoughts or beliefs about life, about ourselves. Our self-belief is limiting or even disempowering. Where do all these thoughts begin? Can I suggest to us that it all started with a seed? So this analogy has got to do with the garden of your mind. Your brain, your mind is like a fresh garden, and it really depends on what is planted there. So here you can see as I slowly develop this and unfold the components of the garden of your mind. It all starts with a seed. The genesis of all beliefs begins with an idea. A seed is an idea. It could be an idea planted by others. When we were young, it could be our parents, right? Significant adult authority figures in our lives. And when I was much younger, I still remember this, that my mother used to say that I was a clumsy boy. I used to spill things, drop things, and get myself hurt all the time. So she does, it was like a passing comment whenever I came to her with bruises. She says, hi, boy, you're always so clumsy, always so clumsy. That's just one seed, guys. One seed doesn't do anything to your mind, doesn't even inform you of, it doesn't build any negative belief at all. It's just a seed. The problem is that when those seeds begin to sink into the garden of your mind and begin to take root, now the roots are your references. References means there are some templates that it begins to build upon this idea. And there is a trajectory or rather a line of thinking that's very similar because they refer back to the original root idea, the seed. So I go out in the evening to play with my neighborhood friends. And I just got my first bicycle at age 7. And I was just trying to ride the bike, begin to learn how to ride the bike. But then I couldn't hold the bike steady, don't know how to use the brakes. And then I fell into a drain. And then I got cuts and bruises all over. This time, I don't need my mother to stand in front of me to remind me that I am clumsy. Because I have a seed in my garden of my mind. So all I need to do is to refer to that and out comes one root. It's a reference. Yeah. The next day I go to school, I forgot to bring my homework. My teacher stands there and glares at me. No word needs to be uttered by her, but another root comes out. That's another reference to its original source, which is I am forgetful. So now, the more this begins to develop, there is a vast network of roots below the ground, all beginning to develop based on the original idea of Glenn, you are so clumsy. But hey, hang on. The original language or the linguistic structure of that seed, which is I am so clumsy, begins to evolve, begins to escalate. And then it evolves into I am so forgetful, I am stupid, I am good for nothing, I am such a failure. But they are all traceable to its original source. Now, before too long, that seed begins to grow, right? And together with the root system, they form the belief system. So a seed is not a belief system. It's just a thought, an idea. But slowly as it begins to develop, it becomes a belief system entrenched in the garden of the mind. And then very soon, you're going to see some fruits. The fruits are the results that are expressed and shown in your life. Now, you might be wondering, hey, how come I actually am quite forgetful, absent-minded, clumsy, and feel like a good for nothing? The evidence of the fruits begin to tell you that, hey, maybe I am like that, but it had to come from some seed somewhere, you see? So the fruits are almost, if you like, self-fulfilling prophecy based on the seed and root system, what we call the belief system, that is operating in your mind. And frankly speaking, because it's a belief system, you send out signals, what the law of attraction calls. I'm very happy to tell you that Breakthrough NLP, by the way, Breakthrough NLP is a product, a signature program, training program under the auspices of Breakthrough Academy and Therapy, of which I'm the co-founder of. Okay, in the suite of NLP tools, we've got more than 25, even up to 30 different techniques like submodalities, representational systems, I patterns or I acuity, right? And dissociative techniques, language patterns, as you know, neuro-linguistic. We talk a lot about the linguistic structure and the language patterns like Newton model, meta model, agreement frame, reframing, yeah, and all these other tools, anchoring, switch patterns, chunking, goal planting, parts integration, value systems. And any one of these tools, in fact, most of these tools are geared towards helping to reframe the mind or to address faulty thinking. Yeah, there are behavior modification stuff there and helps to calibrate new behaviors. But we all know the genesis of all behaviors and all results stem from the garden of your mind. As you take a look at all these different types of techniques and tricks that we use under the NLP banner, I'm going to start, in fact, let me share how I, as a master practitioner, used to integrate some of these tools and sometimes formulate new ways and new approaches and strategies such as the one that I'm going to teach you tonight. Okay, so one of the things that I do as a psychotherapist is to collect data from my clients as I meet up with them every other week, and then begin to test some of these tools and techniques on them, and then realize that I can actually create my own best practices. And today, I'm going to borrow from 3 or 4 of them to help create a more advanced tools, which I'm going to share with you first time in public. For example, utilizing language patterns and some reframing tools, including visualization and hypnotherapy. And I've crafted together what we call a twin V technique to override negative thoughts, with empowering thinking or empowering processing. So as you can see, one of my favorite brand cars, I don't own this, by the way, Lamborghini. It has a V twin engine, right? And so this twin V technique has got to do with, studies have shown that males speak or talk 30,000 words a day. Yeah. Females are actually double that, 60,000 words a day. And so by the time the man comes home from work and sees his wife, and the wife is waiting patiently for him, he used up all his words in office already, the majority. There's nothing left for the wife, and the wife cannot understand. So why you don't talk? Right? So vocalization is one technique to enter into the mind, but later on I'll teach you and share with you how I do that. Right? You can't just self-talk nothing. You got to literally script, right, your statements. The second one, of course, is visualization techniques. So NLP has a branch using hypnotherapy, and there's a whole certification under that. There's an accredited NLP hypnotherapy training. That's something that Tony does as well. He's a trained trainer. In other words, he trains the trainer as well. Yeah. So visualization has to do with seeing images or creating mental pictures, because they are the chief form of language of our mind. Once again, when I ask you to think of a white bear or a pink elephant, immediately an image comes out. A picture paints 1,000 words. Like, it's much faster rather than, oh, pink elephant, PINKELE. No, our brain doesn't register information that way. Immediately it recalls, a picture. So my question is, what pictures are you uploading into the files of your mind, of your brain? Are there any that your brain can recall immediately? So that it postures you more with a more empowering angle. When I ask you to think and visualize yourself, what is the picture that comes to mind? Is it someone who's weak, who's defeated, or is it someone victorious, confident? Sometimes before we get up on stage and do public speaking, for example, one of the quick ways to reposture yourself is to visualize that you are engaging the audience with smiles and you're confident, your posture is great, and you literally physically start to anchor yourself that way. Start to stand tall, chin up, chest out, and do deep breathing. And so that visualization before the actual event helps to create in the theater of your mind a project, what we call future projection, a posture or a embodiment of who you can be even before the event happens. So guys, the twin V technique really is an integration of the two. Shall I move on to talk a little bit about how we used to do? Or let's talk about self-talk first, okay? The power of self-talk. Now, those of you who are tuning in outside, maybe now's a good time. All I need is just 2 minutes for you to focus on what is happening in this short interview by Dr. Phil. Now, Dr. Phil, as some of you know, is a very famous TV psychologist. And so he does these talk shows, right? And he brings on guests on his shows. Many of them have problems, issues, either relationship, etc., or themselves in personal development. And with their permission, he discusses their issues and even gives some solutions. Here is one girl who has very negative self-talk, and he is trying to explain the power of self-talk, albeit in a very scientific manner. Okay, so just about 2 minutes, 3 minutes at best, at most, so they can pick out the nuances of what he's trying to communicate. Let's go.
Well, I've talked to you about the filter you're looking through, and the way we represent that to ourselves is through what I call internal dialogue. It's the self-talk that you have. And you have to understand, our speech is at 125 to 150 words a minute. Now, Robin can gust up to 200, but it's 125 to 150 a minute. But thought-wise, we think at 1,250 to 1,500 words a minute. Now, let me tell you why that's important. Some guy, when you're 17, that you're dating can say, that girl's prettier than you, so I'm going with her. You're not good enough. They can say that to you one time, But you can think it at the rate of 1,500 words a minute. So think about it. You can say fatso 750 times a minute, 60 minutes an hour, 24 hours a day. Do you realize how many times you are pounding that message home? Pounding, 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 pounding that message home?
Yeah, I just don't know how to stop it.
This isn't just psychological. It affects your brain. And what we're talking about here, what's called the amygdala. The amygdala is where you have short-term memory and emotional pain. The amygdala is here, and then you've got the hippocampus, and this is an area that gets reprogrammed when you do what you're talking about. And that gets into a racetrack, a path. And if that doesn't change, nothing you say to yourself, nothing you do is going to get you out of this prison. When I said it's above your pay grade, this is why. Your brain has changed. So that has to be reprogrammed. You want to know the good news? We know how to do that.
Okay. So I'm not sure what you got out of that. But he talks about reprogramming your mindset, reprogramming your brain. Like literally, you can re-script some of the old scripts that are not serving you anymore. By replaying your old scripts over and over again, or trying to put in the predicate of no or not, like you are not a failure. I'm not a clumsy boy. That's not going to help. In fact, the white bear problem will surface over and over again. So re-scripting, so that you can use the script to re-vocalize what you have always been programming and pounding based on the same old scripts. I'm useless, I'm such a failure, there you go again, you're good for nothing. Yeah, it now becomes more empowering when you change the script. We all need to change the script. I'm going to give you some sample scripts that I use with my own clients. And I want you to notice some interesting or study the structure of these statements. So here I have a sample of what we call a triplet trichonym type of statements. The green color on the top is I am statements. Yeah, I am statements. I am a special and unique individual. Now you have to literally design these scripts for yourself. I mean, if you are don't believe in this kind of stuff, or you're just going to take it like a laissez-faire, nothing's going to work. Right? But I promise you, if you really take this seriously and you really want to re-script and see shifts happen to your life, you will see that these things actually work. Okay, so I am an important contributor to the world. I am a winner. I am a successful person. I am. Guys, whenever I listen to clients' language patterns, right, I'm very sensitive to I am, because I am to me is the two most powerful words in the universe. Anything you place after I am kind of seals your destiny, isn't it true? I am a leader compared to I am a failure. Again, you are programming your mind to go and search for evidence to support that script, right? If you say I am a failure, then guess what? You're going to go out and look for failure. And then because of confirmation bias, you're going to say, there you go. Yeah, Glenn, you are a failure. And then the second type, the blue color, I can overcome my setbacks. I can realize my fullest potential. These are called I can statements, or what we call ability type. So the I am is the identity type statements, and then the I can is the ability type statements. Some of my clients will come in with full of I cannot do this, I cannot change my life, I cannot change my future, I cannot change my state of affairs. A lot of things they cannot. Yeah, and they are actually addressing, or actually it is a issue of their ability. They're questioning and doubting their ability. And so to re-script, we will use I can statements, and you can literally design what you can or cannot. Right? Wasn't it Henry Ford who said this in the 1920s? He says, whether you can or you cannot is true. It's up to you. And then lastly, this is something that I sometimes use as a supplemental support to script writing. It's the I will statements. I will be strong and fearless. I will dare to confront my fears. I will persevere until I break through. So the I will is actually a motivation and action-based script. Yeah, I will do it. Yeah, come high waters, I will do it. So these are the three basic scripts I usually help my clients to re-script. Literally, it's a science. You got to break it down. You got to design it based on how it's going to counteract and override your old programming, which no longer serves you. I am, I can, I will. Now, this is vocalization. How do you use this? Well, there was a point of time, there was a period in my life when I experienced quite a bit of setback. And I'm talking about those of you who know me. I came from a very difficult, challenging background. I went to prison and all that. I'm not even referring to that. That's not the worst of it all. It was when I was actually serving in a church community setting, and I was actually doing community service and reaching out to young people back then. This was about close to 15 years ago. And there was a period of time I came out of that, totally left nothing. I was made to feel, or rather, I felt really useless after quitting that social service or that charity. And then I came out, and I remember at first I was broke. I was nearly a bankrupt, and I had no money, no job. And I lost my sense of purpose. So I remember going to the beach, East Coast back then, early in the morning, because I had no work anyway. So I would go there. And then with my crafted scripts, I started to scream and flood myself and immerse myself with these scripts. I shouted to the waves, to the waters. Yeah. Obviously I had to face the water, the ocean, rather than face backwards, because people might think I'm crazy, or the park rangers might arrest me. And over a period of about 1 month, so every few days I would go to somewhere secluded like the beach, and I would do this. I would like shout out, I can overcome my setbacks. I can realize my fullest potential. Now, the reason why I shout and scream is because I need to get myself energized and get my emotion and blood pumping. Otherwise, there's no conviction. I can just regurgitate, I can overcome my setbacks. But really, there's no emotion. So I needed to put that in. Then I realized the power of integrating another element, which is visual, the visual element. So I can repeat this over and over again because I needed my new statements, the new empowering statements, to silence the voice of my old self-talk, because it wasn't healthy and it wasn't empowering at all. But then I started to kick in another level of power through using visualization. And then was a time that I started to create another tool for myself. This is called Psycho-Reprogramming Tool. I'm going to show you a sample of it. I'm not going to teach you tonight. I'm just showing you and exposing to you some of the psychological tools that I use for my clients, which I use for myself. So here, I needed a picture. And this is one of my clients actually wanting to work on his fitness. He has this goal outcome. He says, I want to be strong, fit, free from sickness, and attain my fullest health potential. When he first wrote this out with me, and I took about 1 week to help to design this with him. These are all his own words, his own design actually. I just help him to fit it into this template. So he was already plagued with chronic illnesses. He had to go to hospitals and doctors, check up, that kind of thing, on a fortnightly basis. He was very unhealthy. He was binge eating, and a lot of it was emotional eating. And he was very unfit. So this was one of the goals that he wanted to do. Now comes the placement of all the other scripts. We start with the I will. And so, or rather, we start with the I will, which is here, the why, or what we call the emotional why. I will be fit, attractive, and able to enjoy a healthy life. I will be able to inspire and share my success stories with others. And then we put in the I can, which is installing empowering beliefs. I can do it. I can implement. I can overcome. I can control my body. And then the action steps, which are the hands, he started saying, I am working out every morning. I am focusing all my energy. I am attending weekly gym classes for 2 hours a session. So we combine all this into a template, what we call a Psycho-Reprogramming Tool. And every day we utilize what we call the 3x3 method. You will be looking at these quadrants and then darting back and forth to the visual of this picture. Oh, by the way, it's a female client. That's why you have a female picture there. Of her doing pull-ups, because this was something that she always aspired to want to do as a measure or yardstick of being fit and healthy. So every morning without fail, she will go through these 3 quadrants, the I will, the I can, and the I am. And then there are 3 by 3, right? 3 statements each. And she will repeat it in triplet format. 3 by 3 by 3. And guess what? It takes only just 3 minutes. So it's like 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. Every morning and every evening. It's almost like, hey, here is a tablet, take 2 in the morning, take 2 at night. And so it's almost medicinal in its treatment. What happens when you do this on a daily basis? And what happens when you do this for 1 month straight, 30 days, for example, right? Something begins to shift. Your neural network, your dense network in your brain has to now confront with this new idea or new statements, such that your old belief statements can no longer stand up to this new. Because remember, your actions and behaviors follow your beliefs. I already told you and qualified to you earlier on that the seed, the idea, and the reference join together become the belief system. So if you want to override that negative system with positive ones, and you design it this every day, as you repeat this like a mantra, self-declaration, slowly you begin to see shifts, because now the mind is forced to look for evidence outside to support all these I will, I can, and I am statements. And it becomes so powerful. All you need are shifts, because shifts open up new opportunities for you, right? And so we always look for those breakthroughs. Change and transformation always start with small little steps of catalytical shifts, what we call breakthrough. That's why we call our products Breakthrough and our academy Breakthrough Academy, because it all starts with that. Once you have breakthrough, then you can talk about momentum building. So if you're interested in more of this, we run various personal development courses such as EDT, energy defragmentation therapy. Some of you are familiar with this, or you receive regular updates and missives on it, as well as NLP, right? NLP. So once again, I kind of shared with you the idea, that the technique of the twin V, vocalization and visualization, and how you can actually experiment with it to fuse and integrate the two on a daily basis and practice it, right? And they come from our Breakthrough Neuro-Linguistic Programming training. We give you the tools, but it's up to you to immerse them and integrate them. Breakthrough NLP runs two types of courses, and we accredit and certify you in 2 certificates. The first one is the accredited NLP practitioner certificate. That's the basic one, right? Without the overpriced fees or draggy training sessions. Let me give you a very quick lowdown. Earlier on, I shared with you the various techniques and the tools in our toolbox, and they are here. And we hold them live in sessions. So 100% on site, in person, because come on, when we talk about human interaction as well as human development, we need to, and especially with NLP, we need the whole body to be present, so that we can look at body language, we can look at eye assessing cues, and visualization techniques. We need to see, we need to look at every micro clue, right, of the body. And so we host this about 2 or 3 times a year. I'll share with you our upcoming one. Here is the certification. It's awarded by ABNLP, American Board of Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And you will be certified as a practitioner of NLP. Yeah. The other more advanced module after your basic practitioner is called the Master Prac course, Master Practitioner. It's slightly longer, more intense. And we've run that a few times. We will run that only after your practitioner training. Here is the outline of our 5 to 6 day training. As you can tell, there are 6 days, separate days here, but if you add up the hours, it accounts for 5 full days. They are divided into 2 weekends. So day 1, day 2, and day 3 are actually Friday to Sunday. And then the following weekend, Friday to Sunday again, will be day 4, 5, and 6. And these are the outlines. We will give you the full suite as well as the outline and other information and details if you kind of register for just to indicate your interest. Okay, so on Friday, it will be night times, 7 to 10 p.m. But for the weekends, it will be immersive. It will be full days, 9 to 6 p.m. To me, this is one of the shortest duration you can find out there. Typically, an NLP practitioner course is anywhere from 7 to 9 days, some in Singapore, even 11 days, just for the basic practitioner course. That's because they infuse it with like hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, and all that. For us, it's basic, it's NLP, we stick to the essentials, and we distill only the most valuable content in these 5 days. Anything else you want will be offline or outside of this practitioner program. Now, these are 4 reasons why you need to train with us, okay? Because we've done our research and we know the market pretty well here. Firstly, not only do you get the accredited, certificate of NLP practitioner, you also receive 2 more related NLP certificates. In this case, it will be the EDT and the Subconscious Accelerator. I'll share with you a little bit after this. Next, you undergo the shortest training period compared to any other conventional NLP courses out there, hands down. Number 3, you're getting the most powerful integration of NLP curriculum and methodologies by us, by Tony. In fact, Tony is the master trainer. And he's not just some trainer. He got his certificate to be a master trainer, just like that, out of interest. He has 20 years of clinical experience behind him. He's a registered clinician and psychologist, and he runs a team. He's the clinical director of a team of 10 psychotherapists, counselors, wellness practitioners in Chiang Mai. He's a Singaporean, and he comes here very regularly for supervision as well as to be part of the community of practice here with me. And lastly, number 4, you're investing in the most affordable value per investment NLP course out there. This is guaranteed, guys. Because I work with various other practitioners. I partner with some of them. I know what the price point is, especially after pandemic, what we call a post-pandemic price point. And especially this year onwards, 2024, where we see an increase in inflation, GST, etc. So we have priced ourselves pretty competitive, and I would say hands down the most affordable. I don't want to say cheap, yeah, but it's definitely value per investment. I will share with you the price point in a couple of seconds. So here they are. Let me break it down for you what you'll get out of the practitioner course. I'm talking about the practitioner, guys, because no point telling you the master prac. Only after you've graduated will we release the details to you. So here are the 1+2 certificates. Firstly, your accredited certified licensed NLP practitioner in and of itself is already $2,000. And then you will come for 2 other courses, of which I will train, EDT and Subconscious Accelerator, both in the 4 digits. You will be also part of a COP or COL, group coaching, what we call community of learning or practitioners. And then on top of that, you get personal time, because not everything can be addressed, especially when you are coming in with your own issues. Because here's our belief: you don't come in and just get a cert and then go and help other people. You help yourself first, right? And then, of course, you come in and learn the skills to help other people. So you get personal coaching support, yeah, 2 to 3 sessions or whenever that's necessary. Not everybody's not for everyone, but there are some people who will need this kind of individualized support offline, away from the classroom. Our classes are pretty small. Our classes are anywhere from, say, 10, 12 to 16. Yeah, our biggest class was about 17 to 18 students. So as you can see, a lot of personal attention and personalized individual supervision goes into the coaching of our students. Our price point is $6,600, but obviously that is the public rate, and that's the value that we are trying to communicate in terms of our product, yeah, that you will get. And so here's what you will get, those of you especially who have attended tonight, and there's a whole bunch of you who are going to watch this replay anyway, and so I need to communicate this to you. It will still come under our special price pre-2024 pricing, which means devoid of the GST increase, the inflation, the conversion, etc. Right? And so I'm going to give you right now this link. You can actually scan the QR code and it will lead you directly to a page. This will be our official landing page for NLP practitioner course. Now, in this page, you can read more details, as well as the opt-in form. You can actually put in your name and all that, just to express your interest, not to buy, not to purchase anything yet, because you and I need to get on a call first. You need to kind of ascertain, and qualify whether you are suitable even, right? But you'll get that promo price, as well as a free intro training video for you. Tony and myself will be presenting in a short half-an-hour video, so you get an overview of what NLP is all about, including some of the benefits and outcome that you will get from this training. Okay, we do have an upcoming run in June of this year. That's our next batch of NLP practitioner certification run, and it will be held in a very centrally located training center in town in Orchard, Dhoby Ghaut, and it will be in June 2024. So we encourage you to join us.